Beautiful. Let's just tidy this up a little bit. There we are. And welcome everyone to game number 1, MbL versus TheViper. We have Arabia, Aztecs for TheViper, Mayans for MbL. Two American civilizations, extremely strong. On a map like this. And wasn't there a rule that players needed to use red for maps in which yellow was going to make vision difficult? I don't know. Regardless though. By the way, does anybody know how TheViper is doing in regards to his wrist? I haven't really seen any updates in that regard since a long time ago, and when I saw the B-roll footage from Red Bull, it didn't seem like he had his thingy on. I do not know what the like a strap thing that he has on his wrist. It doesn't seem like he had it on. It's stable, okay? So it's not getting worse, but it's not gotten any better either, right? I guess he probably still needs to use that. Bracer. for actually playing, right? Anyway. What do we get? We get archers for both TheViper and MbL. It's actually not really going for archers, so it's just archers for TheViper. MbL's been going for Eagle Scouts. And no archer range whatsoever. It's just gonna make a play for the castle edge. And check this out! The walls on the left hand side from MbL, preventing TheViper from coming in and seeing much of anything. So MbL can just keep the secret over here, whatever he wants to go for in the castle age. TheViper won't necessarily know about it until MbL is ready to unleash it. MbL walls, what a surprise! He did talk about that during the interview after the last series. He said that once he walls up, he feels a lot more comfortable because he feels like he's not fast enough of a player. Which seems just absolutely crazy to me. It just seems like crazy talk. What are you talking about, MbL? He's right now outpacing TheViper by a factor of 2. But yeah, I don't know. I guess he most likely knows better, right? He's the one who's played the practice games earlier today. Have these two players ever played one another before? Yes. Let's check. All right. Yeah, just in case, I guess we're probably gonna try to avoid to whatever extent we can spoiling the other series that are being played currently. All right, so I'm just going to remove this one message. In the end, we're gonna have to take a look at the brackets and we'll see what the results are anyway. But I guess during the games, like if somebody's watching on YouTube and then they see the result pop up in the chat and they are going to watch it later, they were going to watch that series later, it kind of spoils it. Let's see if TheViper can get the quick walls up over here. He's trying, but against 2 Eagle Scouts, it's gonna be pretty difficult. And it seems like MbL will get the first blood. Yes, sir. Opening the game. TheViper cannot get away with this. Here we are. There's a castle H on the way for MbL still, but TheViper already got there. So despite MbL getting away with the walls, he had to pay for it. So he couldn't really go out to the castle H quite as fast. What does TheViper do though? That's the question. He's been going for Eagle Scout so far. He's got the Eagle Warrior upgrade on the way. That was so close though. TheViper almost loses a second villager. Yeah, it's just going to be Eagle Warriors for the Viper. It's going to start pumping a few monks as well. And MbL just completely disregarding the game. He's just going for 2 additional TCs and will go full boom. While he lets the Viper put pressure up and do all the aggression in this game. MbL's just going to try to play the best he can defensively. And hopefully get ahead in economy like so. Nice quick walls over here. For the Viper, well done, although it might have been a little bit of an overinvestment to just hold on against 2 Eagle Scouts. He cleans those up in the end. He gets a second TC on the way. Yeah, it's fine. Nobody almost ever does unless you are like all the time watching tournaments or so. It's cool. They're to see on the way now. For Mr. Viper. But MbL already got the 3 TCs up earlier, which means that he's got a head start in villager production, which means if both players are able to keep all 3 TCs working, MbL should at the very least prevent the Viper from catching up. And he should be able to keep an 11 villager lead pretty much consistently. Hey Dare Squirrel! Hi. Is that name made on purpose to be difficult to pronounce for non-native speakers? Every time I just gotta start it for 1 second over there and just get ready to say it. Nice villager pick over here. Oh, MbL's quick walls did not connect behind the gates, so that's gonna be 3 villagers going down. He's already lost 1 over here. He's losing another 1 over here, and well done. 3 villagers down already from MbL. That's going to be a total of 5 in the end. And the Viper's getting the relics. Yes, he's getting full map control because MbL's just playing behind the walls. But it's not working out. Not as long as the Viper has access to MbL's base. And, well, he's gotten 3 Eagle Warriors over here. But MbL does manage to get the walls up on time in the end. And he will get a castle up over here. And Narrative! Thank you so much. 25 months, that is over 2 years. 2-month streak as well. Good job with the casting, as always. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're enjoying. I hope you guys are having a good time. This is a great series to go with. This is going to end the day with a bang for sure. So very much looking forward to the rest of it. Game number 1 is already looking so compelling. Viper's been able to kind of catch up in work account compared to MbL a little bit. MbL's getting a little bit of extra idle TC time, plus he did end up losing a few villages over here, so that kind of compensates, offsets for the Viper's tardiness in going for extra TCs. Hey, Wenniger as well. Hi. Two Eagle Warriors for the Viper. Cannot really do too much with these though. He's gonna try to reach through. But even if he got in, we already have the castles up, and the Viper hasn't even gotten scale mail armor. So without +1/+1, these Eagle Warriors won't really do too much around castles at all. And around TCs, a little bit perhaps. If he can get good numbers on the new TC, he might still be able to get a few villagers, but he'll most likely end up losing the units. Now let's see. The Viper sneaking in once again. The quick walls from the red players, they're just not coming up on time, and the Viper will just keep this open for the time being. But is he bringing the rest of the units in? He's not. He's gonna try and breach through the left-hand side by the looks of it. Seems very unlikely he would be able to get away with something like that, given that MbL already has villagers at the left-hand side. He should be able to reinforce this, and that's the weakest spot on MbL's walls. Viper's on his way to the Imperial Age though. Once again, MbL's defensive gameplay style over here is coming in at a cost, quite literally. He spends a lot of resources defending himself. First off with the walls, which delay him to the Castle Age. Then with the castles, that's going to be 1,300 resources he cannot utilize towards going up to the next stage. While the Viper, on the other hand, well, he's going to utilize those resources to go up to the next stage. What is the gather economy time so far? So we know MbL has been ahead in worker count for the most part in the game, and yet TheViper has the highest gather economy time, which is just ridiculous. It goes to show how effective aggression can be, right? And how difficult it is to play just defensive against a player who knows how to put pressure. Even if TheViper was not able to do too much damage over here, disrupting the economy from MbL, forcing the walls, forcing the castles, still ends up putting TheViper on the lead in terms of economy. It's incredible, but it's true. TheViper on more gather economy time compared to MbL right now.
Shot it.
Will MbL cockroach it? That's the question, though. Asking the real questions right there. I see. Fantastic. Beautiful, beautiful cleanup over here from TheViper. He's going back and he's gonna try going after the Eagle Warriors. What am I talking about? Going with the Eagle Warriors after the Pull Archers. He's got only now chainmail armor coming in, so these Eagle Warriors are not the strongest they can be still. And you know what? MbL is getting away with a decent amount of damage over here. Take a look at that as a trail of death for TheVipers. Just been losing Eagle after Eagle after Eagle. Now he's finally getting some of the Bull Archers down. I don't think it's going to be good enough still, but after getting to the Imperial Age and going for plate mail armor, his Eagles will be significantly stronger than anything that MbL's got available in the Castle Age. Especially if TheViper is to go for Elite Eagle Warriors, and especially if he's able to go for Garland Wars as well. Where's the 5th relic? Let's take a look. On the left-hand side. And TheViper's got control of it, or at the very least he's guarding it. He's just not collected it just yet, but he's going for the monk as well, so that's huge. For anybody who might not be familiar with Aztecs, they have a team bonus by which they get 33% additional gold from relics. That means that collecting 5 relics is going to yield as much gold for them as if they had, what is that? I think, yeah, 33% more, right? That should be like 6.66 or so. If I'm not mistaken. 6.66 relics worth of gold income. Because it's coming out for TheViper as well, so we'll soon see trebuchets. Of course, he's got the first one. He already had a castle. He's going for the second one, so we're gonna see the second trebuchet come in very soon once he gets enough wood for it. And this is instrumental. MbL has been going pretty heavily into Pull Archers, but he doesn't necessarily need the castles for Pull Archer production over here, because I don't think that's necessarily what he's going to stick to. But MbL losing the castles over here would mean that he does not get access to El Dorado. El Dorado is an incredible upgrade for Mayans, and that's something that certainly TheViper wants to prevent MbL from getting access to. Not only El Dorado, but also Conscription and all the other upgrades you get from the castle. For the most part, I think TheViper's in a pretty good position over here. And what does MbL have? He's got some villagers moving over the right-hand side. Doesn't seem like he's got much planned about this, though. Probably some sneaky barracks? No, he's just going to collect wood. I thought it was a house for a moment. But yeah, as MbL gets to the Imperial Age, he's going to lose the first castle, and now he's gonna have only one left on the left-hand side. TheViper's still on one trebuchet only though, but he's actually been able to get some good damage with it. What is the plan over here for the Bull player? And what is the plan for MbL? He's going for Eagle Warrior. Only Eagle Warrior right now. TheViper, he is already an elite Eagle Warrior. With plate mail armor and forging, TheViper's units are significantly stronger than anything MbL's got access to right now. MbL still needs to go for Elite Eagle Warrior himself. He's gotta go for El Dorado. And unfortunately for him, El Dorado Eagle Warriors are not necessarily going to be. And it's open! It's open! The Eagles are just coming in. They're just pouring in from TheViper straight through. And it's still open in between the barracks and the castle. We'll see if MbL realizes. He does realize, but it's open up in the north, and the quick walls coming in from MbL will save him for the time being. But not for too long as the walls go down on the right-hand side. Here comes TheViper with a lot of elite Eagle Warriors. These guys only forging. But plate mail armor, they are incredibly strong. Super resilient units. Little bit disaster for MbL, certainly looks like it. 125 to 177 population. That is a good amount of elite equal warriors over here for MbL, but without El Dorado, these do not really hold a candle against the Vipers. Plus, even if he went for El Dorado, the Viper would have access to Jaguar warriors with his castles, and he's got 3 castles forward. Plus, he's utilizing the castles as a stepping stone in front of which to go for additional barracks, and this will just boost his production potential even further. He is already producing from 5 barracks, now that's going to be going up to 7 barracks. So MbL just calls it, man. He cannot keep on going anymore, and the Viper takes game number 1 to get the lead in the series. MbL will have to try harder in game number 2. We'll see if he goes for his own map and if he's going to be able to take advantage of it. Going through the achievements though, what do we get? See, for military, a stronger KD for the Viper, getting very close to 5 to 4 kill ratio. For economy, we have a much stronger economy for the Viper as well, collecting well over 6,000 extra resources, which is just amazing given how defensive and eco-oriented MbL's game was. For society, much stronger worker count for the Viper, especially towards the end. MbL just started completely bleeding his economy out, going from a max villager count of 99 down to 68, thus losing 31 villagers in the last minute or so of the game. And the Viper, well, the Viper ended up losing 3 villagers throughout the entire game. That is just peanuts. Here we are. Next game's here already. And we have Hindustanis for MbL, Ethiopians for the Viper. This makes sense. I was not necessarily expecting MbL to go for Hindustanis. I thought that there was a map he was going to utilize Turks on. It was going to be this one. But he does go for Hindustanis, which is also good. It's certainly going to be a great fit to his defensive playstyle for the most part. While the Viper, well, with Ethiopians is going to have an amazing civilization to go in and be aggressive with, especially against MbL, given how well going aggressive worked in game number 1. I imagine the Viper is going to want to go for it again. We'll see though. In MbL, well, with Hindustanis, the reason I say it's a very good fit for his defensive playstyle, if he's going to play this one similarly to how he played game number 1, is mainly the fact that he's got to pay fewer resources for villagers. He pays 10, 15, 20, and 25% less food. Actually, what am I talking about? Yeah, it's just food cost. For villagers in the Dark Feudal Castle and Imperial Ages, because we are starting the Feudal Age over here, that's going to be immediately 15%. So it's great. You'll see that he'll get the resource to go up to the Castle Age faster if he plays his cards right. The Viper, on the other hand, he does begin with 200 additional resources because of the civilization he's gone for, so that's going to offset for some of what MbL gets. In the Viper, he's getting a market up, and he's going to be on his way to the Castle Age at about the same time, if not a little bit earlier compared to MbL. Regardless though, what I'm very curious about is, I think I know what MbL is going for. Full economy over here, and then potentially a play for, I guess, camels and the hand cannoneer. I'm really sure. Against Ethiopians it's going to be kind of difficult because the Viper gets the pikeman upgrade for free. He gets halberdier, extra resources, right? And then he gets fantastic crossbows and arbalesters, so a hand cannoneer alone is not going to cut it. Camels not going to cut it alone either. Camels and hand cannoneer, it's really going to be going down to the player's unit control if we get something like that against something like halberdier and arbalesters, right? But then you gotta keep in mind as well that the Viper's got an incredible civilization for siege too. If he doesn't end up getting something like Trojan engines, right, in the Imperial Age, and then that gives his siege weapons extra blast radius, the Viper could defend a few bombard cannons with halberdier, target the hand cannoneer from MbL, or potentially even with arbalesters, honestly. and MbL wouldn't really be able to do much about it, unfortunately for him. So yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm just liking Viper Civilization for how well these civilizations fit into each other's playstyle, considering how game number 1 went. I think I'm liking Viper on Ethiopians over here over MbL versus Hindustanis, despite the fact that Hindustanis are a very good civilization to boom with. Anyway, Viper will be in the castle age about 20 seconds earlier, 24, 23 seconds earlier, 25 seconds earlier actually, 35 seconds earlier even. Damn. Quick maths. Epic fail on stream. Yeah, there we go. 35 seconds earlier, he gets to the castle age, and let's take a look at this. Since MbL does not even have Paler Archer armor right now, these skirmishes are not really the best in the Viper, with Balking Arrow and the Crossbow upgrade. Plus the fact that these crossbows will attack 18% faster already. Might be able to get some good damage down over here, let's see. He's gonna try and break through. Can he do it though? Not quite. Here we go. Beautiful. There you are. Viper is gonna start putting some additional pressure with Siege, as he's got on the Siege workshop already up on MbL. He's got on the left hand side the second TC. Did anybody ever use the sword slappy dudes? Urumi swordsmen? Yeah, we saw them. We saw them a couple times on stream, but they are not used too heavily. Oh, the magnet shot over there though is kind of insufficient for MbL. He does end up losing the magnet to the knights from the Viper as well. And Ethiopians might not get the best cavalry, but 2 knights over here will do job against the magnet over there and the Viper. It seems to me like he's just trying to bait another magnet out of MbL's Siege workshop over there, but he's gotta be careful. He's going back. MbL's got the second TC already up. The Viper does have the second TC already up as well. He's got a third TC on the way. So interestingly enough, despite the fact that MbL's playing a civilization that works really well for going full economy, and the fact that he's been playing defensive for the most part, the Viper still managed to surpass MbL in both villager count, while still staying ahead in military count, and unless something remarkable happens for MbL, I just don't see how the Viper is going to let go of this advantage. That's not to say that the game is particularly close to being over right now or anything. We are still very early into it and anything can happen, but the Viper is not the type of player to let go of this kind of a lead too easily, that is, and yeah, MbL is gonna have to fight hard for it. See? Oh, good unit control for both players. In the end, it's gonna be a 1-for-1 trade. The Viper does still have a few manas left over here, though, while MbL was just banking on the one he just lost. Good pressure from the blue player. Might see some villages get pushed away from the gold. This is really bad, by the way. Without access to the gold over here, MbL doesn't really have any of the original, the player-specific golds available to him anymore. Good thing that he does get a second TC on the left-hand side, third TC, sorry, on the left-hand side, and he will get access to gold over here. But yeah, it's definitely not ideal getting pushed away from your starting resources. It's not the worst though. At the very least, they are still going to be available in case he gets pushed away from the outer resource. Like if he got pushed away from the goal on the left-hand side, then that'd put him in a little bit of an awkward spot, right? Because he wouldn't be getting access to these resources anymore. But if he can clean this army up from the Viper and then he gets pushed away from the center. Wait, did he try to delete the Mangonel over there? Or did the Viper manage to get the Mangonel at the very last second? Let me check a look because it's very important. The Mangonels do not deal extra damage. Oh, no, no, no. The Viper ended up taking the Mangonel down. That would have been awkward to see from MbL because I would imagine at this point he already is aware that it doesn't work anymore. Here we go. MbL's defense over here. It's finally paying off. He'll be able to get all the crosses from him, from the Viper down. And the Viper, he's just gotten a Mangonel out. A good Mangonel shot over there. And then on the left-hand side, seems like MbL stabilized over here. So, yeah, once again, the Viper does have a worker lead and a military lead over MbL. If you take a look at gather economy time, yeah, it's significantly higher than what the villager lead over here would have you believe. It should be for the Viper, right? He's got over an hour of extra gather economy time compared to MbL. That should amount to about 1,000 extra resources, so that the Viper should have been able to collect up to this point. So how come MbL is not massively behind in economy? Well, it's in the standards. He pays fewer resources for the villagers. So when both players have gone for, let's say, 50 villagers each, MbL has just saved a lot of resources. About 500 himself, just from that, by saving about 20%, assuming that he went for like 50 in the castle each. That's just guessing over here, right? But yeah, that's the reason why the Viper is not particularly farther ahead. But MbL is definitely on the back foot over here. Still, this is definitely the Viper's game to lose. Good amount of TCs for MbL. He did add 2 additional TCs on the left-hand side, yes. The Viper, on the other hand, he is on 3 TCs only and still manages to stay ahead in work count. For the most part, that's going to be the case. Oh, nice raids over here from the Viper. Bring the shot to Warriors. Just went for 6, but it's already enough to push MbL away from the right-hand side. It's really good. The Viper's really gatekeeping one of the sides, while MbL, on the other hand, I'm not really sure he would be able to do the same. Like, if the Viper tried to come over the left-hand side and either get something going over here, a mining camp, or potentially a castle or a TC, I don't think MbL will be able to push the Viper away quite as well. Regardless though, a few camo skirmishers in the Mangonel from MbL. They've been putting pressure on the back of the Viper's base. We'll see how long-lived this push is. The Viper's got the Knights, so he's going after the Mangonel. If he can get the Mangonel down, then the rest not going to be quite as difficult. With crossbows, he should be able to take care of the camels, right? And then the remaining Knights, he should be able to take care of the skirmishers as well. So this shouldn't be too difficult for the Viper to defend against, especially, you know, he could potentially make a play for pikemen. He gets the upgrade for free, so he doesn't even need to go for it. He just gotta click the unit. And it seems like it's not even going to be necessary though. Yeah, the Viper's getting away with the shuttle defense. Left hand side. MbL stabilizing himself as well. So right now, neck and neck eco count. 115 villages for both these players. Viper still ahead in military count, mind you. Probably still ahead in gather economy time, let's see. Yeah, and he's been able to extend his gather eco time lead from 1 hour and 10 minutes or so to over an hour and a half. So the Viper's economy is getting stronger and stronger by the minute. MbL's struggling to keep up. Hey B, hi. Welcome. Hope you're doing alright. It's going well. I'm extremely happy to be able to cast these games because I thought, you know, I wasn't really sure what it was going to be like. And I'm very happy that it's just completely open streaming, unlike the previous one. And I imagine there is no downside to this. If the tournament's going to get more views, everybody knows that this is a Red Bull event. So it's not like they miss on much of anything, honestly. Shut is a great choice. Yeah. It's pretty good. And now the Viper's going for the castle on the left hand side. This is what I was talking about. The Viper's gatekeeping the right hand side with the shuttle warriors. Now he's got archer ranges coming up. He can go for crossbows. He can go for anything he wants. He can go for siege. On the left hand side, MbL is the one who's got the most presence over here, but he doesn't really have a military presence or a military force over here to speak of. So when the Viper decides it's time to challenge the left hand side, like right now, there's nothing MbL can do about it. And that is a big distinction. Viper's on his way to the Imperial Age as well. MbL is going out to the Imperial Age as well, although a little bit later compared to Viper. MbL should see the castle coming up, and he could consider a counter castle, but right now I guess it's probably a little bit too late. If he realized about it from the get-go, he could have gone for one if he wanted to. That would certainly have helped quite a bit. Now if he's to go for a castle, he's gonna have to go for a castle in between all the TCs on the left hand side. Yeah. The knight with a nice counter castle, he should be able to protect the left hand side. Pretty similar to how the Viper's protecting the right hand side. Nice raid coming in though from MbL. How much can he do with this? That's the question. That doesn't seem like too much. Go. Beautiful. Yeah, the castle came up for MbL, but unfortunately he was much later to the Imperial Age. So now the Viper's got chemistry already on the way as well as conscription. He's got the first trebuchet out. I mean, he's getting to 200 freaking population already. Another castle on the right hand side from the Viper and MbL. He's struggling, man. The raids over here, skirmishers, are doing good damage from the Viper. Oh man, very soon we'll see even bombard cannons coming out from the Viper. We could very well see torsion engines on the way. Pointy boy! Thank you so much for the resub. Coming in hot at 6 months. 6 months already. That is a lot of extended support. Thank you so much. Glad to see you guys enjoying the content still. Let's check. Another castle's on the way from MbL. He does have 2 trebuchets though. The Viper's only on 1. But he does have the bombard cannon on the way, and it's going to come out very soon. He's got it right now. Fireball to the head for the villager trying to repair the trebuchet. However, here comes the Viper. Can he get the trebuchet down? If he plays his cards right, he should be able to deal damage to both these at the same time, and he's going to do just that. Notice, he takes the trebuchets down right away. That's gonna be another one going down. Both trebuchets down the ground from MbL, and then in front of his base. He's under pressure from the Viper, and then on the right hand side, he's trying to put pressure against the Viper, but he does not have anywhere near as much siege, and he does end up losing the castle. So now the Viper is moving on to the next one. Go. Beautiful. Yes, it's going down. Pretty good unit control from MbL over here. He wouldn't have been able to keep on going as long as he did if it weren't because of that. But the Viper is gonna try and get a castle on the right hand side. Now let's take a look. That's a lot of military from the Viper, so he should be able to get the castle up. MbL's got the resources to potentially go for a counter castle. We'll see if he does end up going for it. The Viper, it seems to me like he's guessing MbL's probably collecting gold from here. I don't think so though, because MbL still has plenty of map control on the left hand side. But getting the castle up over here guarantees to the Viper that MbL does not get access to this gold anymore. To be fair, there's only 85 gold left over there. But if he does not get access to that gold or this gold, then MbL is going to be confined to whatever is protected behind this castle, right? So if the Viper is able to get the castle down over here eventually and push MbL away, MbL is not really going to have any resource to keep on going for anymore. Let me take a look at how much gold the red players got available over here behind the castle. About 5,000, that's plenty. The right hand side, the Viper's pressure is ramping up quite a bit. It's got like cavalry upgrade on the way. Oh, he's got Royal Heirs on the way. Royal Heirs will significantly increase the production speed of Shuttle Warriors, so we'll see exactly what he goes for. He's got it. MbL, on the other hand, is going for heavy cavalry archer. 2 additional castles are on the way for MbL back home. Yeah, now he's making the transition from skirmishers into heavy cavalry archers. Against the amount of skirmishers that we have from the Viper, I'm not the biggest fan of that, in all honesty. I guess MbL's probably thinking of sending the cavalry archers forward and getting some raids going with that kind of army, but it just doesn't seem like it's going to be enough in my opinion. Viper's in 200 population. He's got 2 trebuchets just barreling through MbL's defenses. Yeah, and the cavalry archer transition over here does not seem like he's strong enough. And the second hand cannoneer, much better in my opinion. Hand cannoneer, well, yeah, against the Shatter Warriors over here would be significantly better, especially with Shatagni as well. He's not going for it. I guess it's probably just for raids, because what other explanation is there? It cannot be for defenses when hand cannoneer is so much stronger, and you cannot defend with cavalry archers when your opponent's attacking with skirmishers. So it's gotta be for getting the raids going, but right now everything's falling apart for MbL. It's crumbling to pieces while the Viper is struggling to keep a 200 population, but still managed to get so much damage done over here that it might not matter. Over MbL, he's already gotten a close to 40 population lead. And for score, well, he's got almost 4,000 higher score compared to MbL. Plus on the left hand side is gonna try once again to get the castle down. We'll see if he can do it. Yeah, good job. It's quite clear that the Vipers already got in torsion engines as well. Just take a look at this. Oh wait, actually he's not gone for it. I think he's not gone for it. Well, it doesn't matter, the bombard cannons are still deadly effective. Yeah, and MbL's just falling apart at the seams. Well, the cavalry archers do work for taking the bombard cannon down though. There's that. Good defense still. But yeah, without getting out to 140 plus population, plus losing the castle over here to the Vipers raids, and not really having too much in terms of defenses against the Vipers push at all, the Viper will keep the Cherry up over here against the the Armor Elephant. Blue player should be able to get the castle down over here. That's going to be the final fortification drop in. What used to be MbL's starting base, that he's had to migrate over the left-hand side for the most part. And that means that the Viper is going to have control about 85 to 90% of the map. While MbL is basically about to get cornered. Once the CC crumbles, yeah, MbL is going to be completely cornered. The Viper's got full control of the right-hand side. He's got presence on the left-hand side. Yeah, there we go. And MbL's just trying to survive over here. So you asked, will MbL cockroach out? Well, I never liked that term for MbL. I always said myself that MbL is more like a tardigrade. But yes, he endured. He endured quite a lot. Unfortunately, it's not going to be to come back and get on top and win the series. But he did endure much more so than other players would have been able to. Unfortunately, that's going to keep him at about 130 or so population, while the Viper is going to get to 200 population once again, and the Viper should be able to seal the deal over here very soon after MbL, yeah, gets completely cornered, right? So MbL does call the GG from the get-go, but well played still. The Viper 2, MbL nil. Viper's going to thus move on to the quarterfinal stages already, while MbL, he'll have to play the decided matchups tomorrow alongside the elimination matchup. Let's go and take a look at the achievements. What do we see? A very nice KD for the Viper over here, all things considered. I think so, especially with how expensive the units for MbL were towards the end with the cavalry archers. Viper cannot be too unhappy about something like this, especially with his economy being so much stronger compared to MbL. And that is a lot stronger. 28,000 extra resources, almost 50% stronger economy for the Viper over there. At the very least, more resources collected. As for villager count, it was a little bit of a roller coaster over here. Towards the end, though, there was quite clear momentum for the Viper, even if the Bull player ended up losing a few villagers over here. That was... It was not really that he lost villagers, it was that MbL was trying to catch up, right? And the Viper just stayed basically at 129 villagers towards the end of the game for, well, forever. And that's going to be the end of it for now. Let's go back.